Malaysia marks the 10th anniversary of the disappearance of flight MH370, sparking new search efforts.
Shipping rates surge due to tensions in the Red Sea.
Vietnam's smartphone exports rank second globally.
You're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Ha Zhang, your host. Osama Rabi, chairman of the Suez Canal Authority SCA of Egypt, stated that tensions in the Red Sea have led to a significant increase in shipping rates, rising from $6,800 per container from the previous $750 per container recorded before the crisis occurred.
Mr. Rabi emphasized the impact of security and political tensions in the Red Sea on freight rates and transportation costs. According to him, shipping rates to ports in the Red Sea have risen to $6,800 per container, from the previous $750 per container recorded before the crisis in the Red Sea. Mr. Rabi also reaffirmed the Suez Canal Authority's commitment to supporting customers in minimizing losses during the current crisis. The volume of goods transported through the Suez Canal in the week ending February 13th decreased by 55% compared to the same period in 2023 due to attacks by Houthi forces in Yemen targeting commercial vessels in the Red Sea, causing key shipping companies to divert away from this important maritime route.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính had just signed Directive Number 10 on boosting sustainable, transparent and efficient production, business and export of rice in the new circumstances.
Prime Minister has instructed ministers, heads of ministries, relevant agencies, local authorities and businesses to continue strictly implementing Directive Number 24 of the Prime Minister. This directive requires the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development to direct provinces in the Mekong Delta region to harvest the winter-spring crop timely and minimize post-harvest losses to the lowest extent possible. They should also timely direct the organization of the summer-autumn crop, lead and coordinate with localities and industry associations to closely monitor the market situation and provide accurate and comprehensive information on the rice market dynamics. This is to enable farmers and businesses to plan their production and business activities accordingly, ensuring a stable supply for domestic consumption and export and stabilizing market prices.
Around 500 people gathered at a shopping center in the capital city of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to hold a memorial ceremony for the unlucky passengers of the mysterious disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 over the past 10 years.
At the memorial event, relatives shared the pain they have endured over the past 10 years, while continuing to urge authorities to organize new search efforts. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, carrying 239 passengers, disappeared from radar screens while en route from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. To this day, the fate of the aircraft and hundreds of passengers remains a mystery. Malaysian Minister of Transport Anthony Loke stated that the U.S. seabed exploration company Ocean Infinity had been invited to discuss their latest search proposal following 2 previous unsuccessful attempts. Speaking at the commemorative event, Loke affirmed that the search efforts would continue under the government's direction.
Coming up next are some updated news. Vietnam has recently surpassed India to become the world's second-largest exporter of smartphones, trailing only behind China. According to preliminary statistics from the General Department of Customs, Vietnam's exports of various types of phones and components reached over $5.5 billion in January, a robust increase of 50.4% compared to the previous month. Compared to the same period in 2023, the export value of this commodity has risen by 11.4%. In January 2024, the United States was the largest market of Vietnam's exports of phones and components, followed by the Chinese market in second place.
The Ministry of Health is seeking feedback from relevant agencies on the draft of the amended health insurance law, which includes 3 options for increasing the new health insurance contribution level. Accordingly, the first option is to maintain the current maximum contribution rate of 6%, but to include a roadmap for increasing contributions in the amended law. The second option is to keep the maximum contribution rate at 6% as in the current law, but to implement a roadmap for increasing it at a higher rate. This roadmap would also increase costs for the state budget, businesses, employees, and households. The third option is to maintain the current provision of a maximum contribution rate of 6% without considering a roadmap, but to assign the government to regulate it as necessary.
The waste-to-energy plant project in the integrated solid waste treatment complex in Nghệ An, district, with a total investment of 3,100 billion Vietnamese dong, has just been approved by the Standing Committee of the Provincial Party Committee of Nghệ An. It is expected to start operating in 2027 with a processing capacity of 1,500 tons of waste per day. The project utilized the Martin mechanical-grade technology from Germany, combined with the power generation, which is currently a trend to localities to address environmental pollution issues at landfills and utilize waste resources for energy regeneration, aiming to close unhygienic landfills, which pose many risks such as fire explosions and contamination of groundwater source. Once completed, the factory will handle waste generated from Vinh City, Cửa Lò Town, Nghi Lộc, Hưng Nguyên, and Diễn Châu districts. Moving on to today's story. Industrial real estate is a segment dedicated to the development and investment in industrial parks and clusters, with numerous advantages in infrastructure, the development of large industrial zones, and attractive policy from local authorities. Many businesses have participated in investing in this sector, opening up new prospects for the industrial real estate market in the Nghệ An province.
With the advantage of satellite industrial zones in the province and available land funds, Nghi Lộc district has promptly planned industrial clusters, integrating them into the province's general planning. The district's perspective is to select investors with sufficient management and financial capacity to invest in comprehensive infrastructure. A positive signal is seen as in the second quarter of this year, investors have begun constructing infrastructure and factory systems in the Nghi Dinh industrial cluster, covering an area of 70 hectares, with a total investment of over 440 billion Vietnamese dong.
We will facilitate conditions for investors in the following steps, such as clearing land, ensuring security and order, supporting attraction and labor transformation.
Currently, alongside the 38 local industrial clusters in operation, the province also proposes to add 21 industrial clusters to the province's Industrial Cluster Development Plan until 2030. From now until 2025, the land fund for the real estate market will increase by about 1,500 hectares, including 1,200 hectares in industrial zones and approximately 300 hectares in industrial clusters. This is a prerequisite for localities to implement investment policies and solutions in this field.
We are creating the best conditions in the documentation procedures for investors to work with relevant departments.
Investment projects in constructing industrial parks, industrial clusters, rental workshops, warehouses, and land investment projects serving industrial production within the province are being significantly expanded both in terms of quantity and scale. The industrial real estate market of the province is promising to become more vibrant in the near future.
Now it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.